It's a hot take kind of a day, but I would say, in contradiction to a lot of what the internet says, I think that your choice of game engine absolutely does matter. Hey there, I'm Brandon. You're watching ADHD Game Dev. Thanks for being here. So I'll jump right into it. A lot of people on the internet will give you advice to say it doesn't matter what game engine you choose, just get into it and huzzah, get going. I think that they mean well, and what they really mean is if you're just starting out, just pick something. Don't stress forever trying to pick an engine. Just get moving somewhere. I disagree. I would say that the best thing for you to do is to try a couple of engines and find out which one appeals to you more. And I would also argue that your choice of engine makes a huge difference in your output. It absolutely does. Out of all of my many random kind of hobbies, one of the weird ones I'm into is I like watching blacksmith YouTubers. Don't it's just a lot going on up here. And one of them, Alec Steele, had said that it actually makes more of an impact for you as you're starting in anything that you have good quality tools. Because when you're really experienced, you'll know where the tool is a shortcoming and you can work around it. But if you're just starting out, ironically, you won't know whether your tool is letting you down or your own lack of skills are letting you down. So it's unusual. But as indie game devs out here, we're spoiled for choice, aren't we? We have a lot of great choices, a lot of great engines, but they are very different. They are very different in the kind of games that you're going to be able to create. They're very different in the kind of community that is behind them. They're very different in the experience of working with them. They're very different on their pricing models, too, okay? For a couple of real fast ones, I've worked heavily with Game Maker, and it is a 2D pixel-based game engine. If you are interested in making a pixel art 2D game, you can do that with Game Maker. It's also helpful because it's got a starting mode of a drag and drop graphical kind of interface, low code, no code. And their coding language is really forgiving. That all describes Game Maker. Okay, if you wanted to make a 3D game or you want to have any hopes of going that direction, it will not be there for you. It just won't. You also have to pay them if you want to do anything commercially. It's a reasonable fee. The other engines, when it comes to commercial licensing, have licenses like, you have to make $1 million and then you'll have to pay them. It's very forgiving, but if you're going to make a big studio and have a big splash as a game, you need to be aware of that. It's a very different licensing model. The community is going to be very, very different. Is it a welcoming community or is it more of a standoffish one? You're not going to go it completely alone. You're going to need to ask for help at some point. And in addition to the community support, I would also say that the depth of documentation available is going to make a big difference. And the longevity of an engine being around for a while is going to impact that, of whether it's got a really well-done manual, a well-done library, say even an asset library if you want to get into that, or a long history of community posts that you can search and get information on. It's a two-edged sword. Unity being out there for a good long time, you'll find posts on things and you start to try to implement it only to realize that, that solution was outdated 4 editions ago. But anyway, but I would say that if you wanted to get in and do 3D games, Unreal is a big beast of a program, one of the best going for 3D, but it's on the opposite spectrum of Game Maker. Unreal is known to be not the best choice when it comes to 2D games. And even though a lot of people start with it, there is a idea that it is better suited to a team to work on it. I don't know if that's true from personal experience or not, but I can say that it is a very, 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 very big download and install. And if you're going to make a high-powered 3D game, you need to be able to come up with high-powered 3D assets, and you need to have a computer that can run it. You see, all these decisions are starting to factor into your choice of engine, so it's not just a matter of just grab one and go for it. I would say that Godot, the one that I'm using, is one of the most lightweight, quickest install, and the most open because it's a open engine. They're not going to charge you anything, but it doesn't have the long, strong history of support. But anyway, it does have it has a community that's so outgoing that it's almost cult-like at times, for better and worse. So that also makes a difference. So I think that your choice of engine kind of reflects a lot about you as a person and you as a developer. If you're in Unity, it's going to also require you to get Microsoft Visual Studio. And for me, that means bouncing back and forth between two different pieces of software. And people who like it understand it, and they're serious about game dev. And I think that it appeals to a more serious or semi-pro kind of a group. And they appreciate having a piece of software that is devoted just to writing code. I come from Game Maker, where everything is all self-contained and enclosed, including a lightweight pixel editor, sprite editor. And I like that all being self-contained. So for me, going from Game Maker into Unity was frustrating. I was working with two different pieces of software and doing a lot of updates. And you guys, you remember what channel you're on. You're on the ADHD Game Dev channel here, right? Anytime you add a roadblock or another step or another update, it's starting to frazzle my brain. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. I need something that is lightweight and flexible. Game Maker's coding language is really, really, really flexible. It's forgiving to a fault. It will let you get away with murder at times. I have to be a lot more orderly in the way that I write code when it comes to Godot, but it's another order of organization and the communication between two different pieces of software that you get into when you get into working in Unity. Getting over into Unreal, most people are using their Blueprint system, and it is like this tangled nest of graphical connected blocks helping to connect coding concepts together. And I look at that and I just want to go hide in a corner. I'd rather look at a long list of coding. It just makes more sense to my brain. So picking out a game engine has a lot to do with who you are as a person and who you think you might be as a game developer and what kind of games you want to develop. So there are a lot of choices involved there. I think it makes a huge difference. And as a matter of fact, at this point, I can look at games and say, yeah, that looks like it was made in Unreal. Not a bad thing, but just the lighting and the shading, it all looks a certain way. Same thing with Unity. It just looks a certain way. You go into Game Maker, it's going to be a pixel art game. So I think your engine has a huge impact on what kind of game you're going to run and whether you're going to be an indie solo dev or a small team. What are the collaboration tools like? So it is an important decision, but I would say it is not a permanent decision. Still, you don't live forever. You don't have all the time in the world to learn every engine and to try them all. So I would say dip your toes in the water and try a couple of them after doing a little bit of research. Maybe this video helped you with that research and to think through it, and maybe something appeals to you out of what I just said. Try them out. Don't invest too much of your time and effort learning an engine that's just not going to work out for you. But do switch a couple of them and find out, does one of them immediately appeal to you? Because I think you will get a sense of a quick connection or a quick appeal with the engine that you've chosen. And if you go a month or so and you don't like it, you do have the opportunity to change. I think the longer you're with an engine, the harder it is to make that decision to change. So if people tell you, don't worry, you can change in the future, theoretically, technically, yes, but it is a hard choice and you should not take that lightly. So I do think that your choice of engine absolutely is important. Boy, I hope that's controversial. I want to fight today. Let's just argue about things. Said nobody ever. But anyway, I kid. So glad to have you here. I hope you'll consider subscribing if you like ADHD topics and game dev topics and talking about video games. That's what we're all about here. We're having fun. And I hope that you will be awesome today. Talk to you later.